Welcome to the 1990s, right smack dab in the middle of the console wars. Mario and Sonic are fierce rivals. Nintendo, Sega, Nintendo, Sega, Nintendo, Sega. Sega does what Nintendo don't. Well, all except almost go bankrupt. Anyways, that out of the way. It was a great time that I wished I could have been a part of, but of course I was brought up in a different time for Sonic.
I was born in the wrong generation, shut the fuck up.
But today, I'm going to relive with you some of Sonic's Glory Day games. I hope you enjoy, and if you don't...
Look at it! Look at it! Look at it! I want all of you to look at it!
Sonic Spinball, released for the Sega Genesis in 1993, then ported to the Master System and Game Gear in 95. Game Gear! Sonic Spinball, so bittersweet you are. When I was younger, I would play this game on my Sonic Mega Collections for the GameCube. Well, back then, of course, I liked it. I just constantly taunted myself at how I could never make it past fucking stage 1. Now, I still like it because of that nostalgia factor, of course, but definitely don't see it as a good game, which is why it's number 5 on this list. But a main problem with it, or at least that I see, is that the pacing is just so slow, and that's ironic seeing as how it's after all supposed to be a Sonic pinball game. And it's hard to control, like, where do I go? What do I even do? I'm here? What's up with this? I don't know where to go. And the soundtrack is, it's not bad, but those faults in mind, however, and against our other choices. This game doesn't look as bad in comparison, and still is in fact a classic, and it's not the best, it's not the worst, it's just okay. Sonic 1, Sonic's first game, Sonic the Hedgehog, released in 1991 on the Sega Genesis, and we are speaking of just the Sega Genesis version. But I digress. This game was revolutionary for the time and even challenged Nintendo. The game itself is a classic, has many great levels, and some of which you may wanna just, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking to you, Labyrinth Zone and Scrap Brain. I mean, come on! Saws and flamethrowers? Really? One of my personal favorite levels, however, is Starlight Zone. Even the music. Just listen to that. It's like an orgasm in your ears. Also, the boss battle is a good challenge, but why is Eggman in cylinders that are trying to crush him? Sonic won't get me this time. This is my greatest creation yet. Just let me get this straight. You're going to get inside of those cylinders and try to crush Sonic while putting yourself in the cylinders and being completely exposed to being hit by them at any moment. What's the point? I mean, at least it's not as bad as that damn wrecking ball or, you know, the spike underneath the Eggmobile and you were picking the blocks up. That was pretty stupid too, but come on! Damn hunk of junk! No way! I can't believe this! Sonic CD. Released in 1993, it was considered one of the greatest games released for the Sega CD, and I mean it wasn't really competing with too much. Time travel is what this game revolves around, with nearly every stage containing 4 different variations, one for each time period, featuring alternate stage layouts, music, and graphics, with a variety of fun, colorful, and creative stages. Metallic Madness being my favorite, of course. I mean, the music is fucking badass, and like Scrap Brain, literally everything in these levels are trying to kill you. Oh yeah, and I never knew exactly what was up with this though. I think we know who should really be on that treadmill. I've had it up to here with you! Go back to the base and play your damn Mario Maker, and stop bothering me! Owen, could you get some takeout? I'm pretty hungry. But don't get me started with that damn special fucking stage. Don't you wave your finger at me, you little piece of shit. Also, this is the first appearance of Amy Rose, or what she was called back then, Rosie the Rascal, along with Metal Sonic, or what he was called back then, a fucking dick. Don't even get me started with this thing. Admittedly, I think some of these bosses look like a joke. I mean, bubbles? That's what you're attacking Sonic with? Bubbles?
Fucking bubbles!
Things that he can use to regain his air instead of just watching him drown? I mean, come on, Eggman. Just look at how pathetic these bosses look. Music in this game is good, and I mean good. And what made it even better was the improved sound on this console. Well, at least compared to that of the Genesis. But there's some music in the American version of the game that just sounds plain creepy. Like, you want kids to play your game? If that was me, and I was younger, I'd be taking the Nope train to fuck this shitville and throw that Sega CD straight out the goddamn window. Sonic 2, released in 1992 for the Genesis. That's a lot of twos. Along with its counterpart for the Game Gear the same year. Okay, we will not be talking about that. But maybe, expect a Let's Play of it maybe in the future. Maybe! A year after the first Sonic game, this game was a step up from the first, with a lot more unique and memorable levels, and the introduction of Sonic's sidekick for years to come, Miles Tails Prower.
Grab on tight!
This is also another game that I grew up playing. The zones are all very memorable, I mean except Mystic Cave Zone, I kinda forget that one sometimes, and Hilltop. But I don't forget Hulk's penis from Mystic Cave. Ugh. Some of the zones are just a little taste of Satan's domain before we get there ourselves. This game is great, but like something really good, it always improves, and it definitely improved from its predecessor. The final boss is actually pretty challenging to beat, but actually very, very satisfying to beat as well.
Like a mouse.
My favorite zone in this game would probably be Casino Night Zone. That stage is just so cool. Like, the slot machines, the bright sprites, the music, I mean the boss is a bitch to beat, at least for me. But it's a pretty cool zone. My favorite classic Sonic game of all time, Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Well, technically, I guess you can consider these games two separate ones, but for the sake of the list I combined them. Sonic 3 released worldwide in '94, and Sonic and Knuckles released worldwide the same year, due to time constraints of course, but I guess this was kind of like the first ever DLC, except you couldn't download games the way you could now back then. So think of it as kind of like an amiibo, but just a second part to a game. Yeah, that makes sense. You may as well be buying a whole nother fucking game with all those amiibos. I do like the idea of a game actually being delayed so they could finish it. Many other games could have taken a note from something like this. And believe me, if the game is as good as its counterpart, I do not mind paying for another game. But maybe that's because I'm such a Sonic fan and I will buy anything that deals with Sonic. This was also the first appearance of Nipples the Enchilada.
Whoa! You hurt my arms! Oh, Jesus! I don't have your stuff, man! Don't hurt me!
Oh, my mistake. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Nipples the Enchilada. I can break through stone with my rock-hard fist nipples. Boy, kinda chilly today, huh?
It has great visuals for the time, great music. Music that Michael Jackson was partially involved with. We really don't know everything concerning Michael in this game, because people have said different things. But we do know he worked in and had influence on the soundtrack. He liked the ending theme from Sonic 3 so much, he used it as a basis for his song Stranger in Moscow. Pretty cool, huh? And don't get me started with the music for this game. The music is amazing. Also, out of all the stages, my favorite is Death Egg Zone from Sonic & Knuckles. It's so cool to look at, and you don't even know exactly where you're going to go, but everything about that stage is creative and challenging and pretty fun. The bosses are pretty challenging, and the final boss, the Doomsday Zone, it's acquired after you get all of the Chaos Emeralds and the Super Emeralds. Doomsday Zone is fucking bananas. You turn into Hypersonic or Supersonic depending on the emeralds you collect, and you chase Eggman into space while you're avoiding asteroids and missiles while having this fucking awesome tune in the background. Well, you know. But I hope you all enjoyed, and if you did, make sure to whack that subscribe button, but not too hard. It has feelings, you know. You guys are so fucking insensitive to the fucking subscribe button. But please subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this. Peace.